This is Gay TV, and this is A Day in the Gay. I'm Savage, your host, and today we have Jonny McGovern.
Hi there.
How you doing today, Johnny?
Oh, I'm good. It's a faggoty morning here in Hollywood, so I'm just gaying it up.
Okay. Well, let me just say I love your beard. What made you decide to grow that out?
Well, I just think I'd kind of been rocking the same look for a really long time and figured it's time to give myself a little makeover. So when I moved to Hollywood, I decided to let my more natural self come out.
Well, I definitely like it. Do you get hit on like by a different type of guy now that you have your beard?
Um, I don't know if you get hit on by a different type of guy, but all the guys I like tend to like it, so that's good.
Okay, so what moment did you realize that this is something that you hit it big?
Did I hit it big? Well, I mean, I certainly started to know that my work was having sort of a massive effect. I mean, a long time ago when Soccer Practice came out, because it was before YouTube, and I really honestly didn't go on the computer that much. But it was when I started getting emails from around the world, and when I found out that the video was getting played on MTV Japan and MTV Europe, I was like, well, I might have gotten onto something here.
Okay. You have become a gay icon who in the entertainment industry do you look up to? And who have you met that you never thought you would meet in a million years?
Hmm. Well, the people that I really look up to in the entertainment industry are comedians who've managed to have really long careers. Of course, the main people I look up to are the Golden Girls. God rest their soul, except for Betty White. But I really like, I like a lot of people. I liked working with Rosie O'Donnell. I love Whoopi Goldberg. I love a lot of the queer comics out today. As far as the people that I thought I would never meet, recently I played a game of Celebrity with Jake Gyllenhaal and Scarlett Johansson, which was very strange because Celebrity is a game where you need to put the names of celebrities into a little thing. Everyone picks them out and has to describe them. So I was sitting there with Jake Gyllenhaal and Scarlett Johansson describing famous people to really famous people. I kind of wanted to just write down all the names of their ex-girlfriends and boyfriends and be like, you dated them. He was Green Lantern. You just got a divorce from him. But that would have been inappropriate.
Okay. Your video, Take Me to St. Olaf, A Song for Rose, was shot in front of the Golden Girls' house. How were you able to swing that one?
That was completely a stolen shot. I actually didn't realize that the Golden Girls house was here in Los Angeles. I thought it was merely the shell that they had built in Orlando, which I visited as a kid. Thought it was the greatest thing I'd ever seen. I went on the little tram tour at Disney MGM Studios, and when I saw the Golden Girls house, I wanted to run off and just be like, I'm home, everyone, let's get the cheesecake." But that was torn down a couple of years before I shot that video. So I thought, too bad I never got to visit it. And then someone told me that it was actually here in Los Angeles. So I Google mapped that shit, and me and my director went out and sort of staked out the house. And it's in a very strange neighborhood where every house has a different architecture style. So there's like, a villa and then some sort of some big manor, and then right next to all these other places is the Golden Girls house. So we sort of staked it out one day, and no one was in the neighborhood. No one seemed to be home. And so we were like, all right, we're going to come here at the same time at noon next week, and we're going to just really quickly get it. And I had the song on my headphones. And so if you had walked past the house, you would have seen me silently lip syncing the song, hoping that no real person was going to come out of the house. And luckily, it seemed like after we were there for a few minutes, no one was home. So we just decided to go for it. And we were like, look, no one's home. Let's do this. And so we were able to shoot quite a bit in front of it. It was it was a thrill, a scary thrill, but I loved it. And it was great to get it for that video.
Well, that's definitely amazing. It looks identical.
Yeah, I mean, it really is exactly the same. It's like they haven't changed a thing. except they haven't really taken care of the garden very well. We had to shoot around the dead plants.
Well, I can imagine that you have plenty of fan mail coming in. What's the wackiest thing you've ever received?
Um, well, I certainly get weird sexual proposals, which I'm always like, well, thank you. That's sweet. We've never met. Some of the greatest stuff I get is, I mean, though all my songs are, meant to be jokes and are for fun, I do get a lot of mail from people saying that some of these songs have helped people come out, and that it sort of empowered them, and that makes it all worth it.
Well, your music definitely is influential. You're definitely a
Thank
hard
you.
one to find personal information on. What was it like growing up, and is there a special guy in your life right now?
What was it like growing up? I had a pretty great growing up. I have really supportive parents. I was born in Brooklyn, and then I moved to Thailand when I was 8. And then I lived there till I was 13, and then I lived in Egypt till I graduated high school. So it wasn't necessarily Egypt wasn't necessarily the greatest place to come out of the closet because while it's a beautiful country, it's not terribly loving of homosexual relations. Um, but I was a big theater geek, and in my room, instead of posters of sexy ladies and cars on the wall, there was pictures of the cast of 227 and the Golden Girls and Screaming Black Ladies, which was a clue that I was a big homo. Um, but mostly it was great. I had really supportive parents. I was able to go away to drama camp during the summer, which is where I let my fag flag fly. And then eventually I went to acting school, which is where my fag flag just fully came out because everybody was gay there. So it was good. I had a relatively good growing up. I spent a lot of time in my room watching television and imagining myself on television and imagining that I would do movies with the Golden Girls and people like that. And there is not a special gentleman in my life right now. I actually was dating someone for a really long time, and then right before I moved to LA, we broke up. So I'm single, fellas. What's up? Hey.
Do you have any regrets in life?
There's not really time for that. You just gotta just keep on pushing through. Occasionally, there's things that I might have done differently, but can't change them now. So it's really just, especially as an independent artist where I'm creating my own stuff constantly. You can't really look back. You just always got to keep putting one step in front of the other so that you can continue to make your work for everyone to enjoy and to see and to keep working and keep evolving as an artist. And that's what's important to me.
That's definitely an amazing positive attitude that you have.
So there's really no choice. You just got to do it.
So, having been a correspondent with Ricky Lake, do you still keep in contact with her?
No, I mean honestly, not that I wouldn't love to, and Ricky was always very, very sweet to me. But honestly, our interaction was what you saw on television. I got the job. It was in the 11th season of the show, and Ricky had been, doing it for 11 years. And I think the 11th year was one that she didn't actually really want to do that much, which is why they brought us on, so that it was me and a panel of a few other people who were sort of her regulars on that show, and that was meant to give Ricky a little bit less stuff to do, so that she could take time to be with her kids and whatever else. So the first time I met her was on the air, and she was like, Johnny, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow, just like we've actually met in real life, but we haven't. But she was always extremely nice, and she's taken time out of her schedule in the past to do interviews about me for a special they did on me on VH1 and other stuff. But I haven't talked to her, in forever. Which doesn't mean I wouldn't like to, Ricky. I heard you got a new show.
Do you think there'll be another season of the Big Gay Sketch Show?
Oh no, baby, that's canceled.
I mean, I thought there might still be some hope left.
No, did as well as they could with it. I don't necessarily think it always got the promotion that it deserved, because I thought that as the seasons went on, we really were getting better and funnier. But it really just didn't get the push that it needed to really make an impact. So no more of that. Just the reruns, which I'm sure they'll keep rerunning forever. Thank goodness.
That's true.
But I do hang out with all the cast all the time, and Julie Goldman and Michael Serrato from the show are on my Gay Pimpin' with Jonny McGovern podcast with my new Hollywood cast, and I see a lot of the other people from the cast all the time. We actually went on tour after the show finished. We did something called the Big Gay Tour, and we several of us would meet up in different places in the country and do some of the sketches and do our stand-up and do have a good old time. So we still all keep in contact.
It's great that you guys can keep together.
Well, everybody lives here, so it's easy to you run into them no matter what. On the street, at the club, in the place, in the thing, you end up seeing each other. We're all sort of in the same circles. A lot of times we'll be all booked for different shows. And we're like, oh, hey.
How tight is the gay scene in LA as opposed to New York?
It is, it's sort of like anything. I mean, I certainly, I can go out and run into lots of people that I know or know me here. And though when I lived in New York, I was throwing parties, so I was really deeply entrenched in the nightlife scene. Here in Los Angeles, I just sort of like to dip a toe in every once in a while. I'll host a party or something like that, or I perform at a club every once in a while here. But it's not like New York where, literally every person at every club I knew because I'd been throwing parties there for 10 years. But it's sort of nice. It was nice to get out of New York and have a sort of fresh take on nightlife. I mean, nothing beats New York nightlife. There's nothing like going to the Cock on Saturday night. And I still really enjoy going back there to party it up with my friends. But LA has its own charm, and I've really definitely been enjoying it.
So now it's mostly work as opposed to having fun.
Yeah, actually, I think I have more fun going out now because I'm not working in nightlife so much. Like when I was in New York, I only went out really to the parties I threw, but I was throwing a couple parties a week. So then nightlife could sort of become a drag. You're like, ugh, gotta go out and have drinks and talk to people. Whoa. But here I can be like, yeah, I'm gonna go out to drinks and talk to people because it's more of my recreation as opposed to doing it for the dollars. And then when I do a show here, it's really fun because all the guys who were in my Dickmatized and Sexy Nerd videos are, now my homies, and they all work out here. So it's easy to do a big show here in Los Angeles with all my dancers. Actually, last weekend, I just did a big show at a club called Cherry Pop and had all the boys from the Dickmatized video in the show with me. So that's fun.
And those dancers from Dickmatized, I recognize them from online and just pictures, models, and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're sexy hoes about town.
And how many of those guys are straight?
Only one, I think, actually. Well, two, 1.5. One's questionable.
Oh, believe me, I know how that is.
One's questionable, but one is definitely straight. One is a question mark, and then the rest are gay. I like to keep it as gay as possible. Or at least, gay enough for me to touch it if I want.
Speaking of having fun, you've got a Gay Pride 2011 CD coming out. What is the idea behind that? What's the concept?
Well, my new record is called The Gayest of All Time. Mm-hmm. I initially was going to release it at Gay Pride 2011, but I started to really get into a bunch of new songs, and I decided to push it back. So now it's coming out coming out the beginning of next month. It's just a bunch of new songs. I'm calling it The Gayest of All Time because that's one of my favorite tracks on the record, which is about a party that's the gayest of all time, as if every gay in the world got together on a really big gay dance floor. And, I like to also push the envelope a little bit, so I figured calling it The Gayest of All Time, and people would be like, what? How dare you? Be like, yeah, that's right, baby. The gayest of all time. But it has Sexy Nerd on it, Dickmatized, Modified, and then 2 more videos that are coming out in the next couple months. One's called Man Areas, which is kind of like their little dirty rap song. So I like your man areas. I like your man areas. I like to lick your man areas. Which is funny when I play that song for my mother. She's like, I like that song. Here's that man part song. And then another song called Texting on the Dance Floor. And then I'll have a big single out for this Pride with The Gayest of All Time. So I've been pushing those video singles pretty hard, and I'm going to continue to do it all the way through Gay Pride this year. So it should be up on iTunes at the beginning of February.
Okay, awesome. Hopefully we'll see you in Gay Pride Atlanta here soon.
I'm ready. I'm dying to come to Atlanta.
Well, I'll definitely push for it.
There's strip clubs. I want to go to Swinging Richards. I want to go to the place that's like Hooters but with dudes. I mean, there's so many things I want to do in Atlanta. So I'm ready. Atlanta, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the call.
So how can your fans keep in contact with you?
Well, you can always find me on Facebook, Jonny McGovern, and if I have two Facebook accounts because one was my one that I started regularly, but they only let you have 5,000 friends. So I'm full of friends. So if you want to just check me out, just go to facebook.com/Jonny McGovern and you can like me. And I post all the same stuff on that page. It's my fan page. Or you can follow me on Twitter @GayPimp. And sometimes I like Twitter. It's a little naughtier than Facebook. So sometimes I like to live tweet things as I'm doing them. I went to the CyberSocket Awards and put up lots of pictures of all the porn stars and made fun of their gift bags. So you can get that kind of stuff on that. You can also go to gaypimp.com for all things Jonny McGovern.
Well, it definitely sounds exciting. I'll definitely check that out. Okay, lastly, what are your plans for the future and what's next for the Gay Pimp?
Well, next up, of course, is The Gayest of All Time. I'm going to be pushing that album for, the next bazillion years until I come out with another one. I'm going to continue to make a bunch of new videos. I've been able to, make 5 videos so far off this record, which, is more videos than I've been able to do in years, which is great because I was able to raise money thanks to my fans to really make some high quality, super baggedy videos. And I'm planning to make a couple more after that. And then I'll be going on the Gayest of All Time tour. So all next year, you'll be able to see me all around the country and internationally pushing it. And then, of course, I'm doing Gay Pimpin' with Jonny McGovern podcast here every week. And then I got a few other things up my sleeve, which will be surprises.
Well, I'm definitely excited to see more Jonny McGovern. Can you send us out with a little Digmatized?
Oh, like them hoes on Lost, I be having flashbacks. Like your cock on IMAX, it be looking real fat. Digmatized.
This has been A Day in the Gay with Jonny McGovern.
Mr. McGovern, it seems as though you are suffering from an affliction known as stigmatization. Tell me all about it.
It all started on the basketball court. I was shooting hoops with my homies, like we always do, when all of a sudden, shit, goddamn, this boy has got into me bad. Oh shucks, this sucks. I'm like, this dude a little too much. Oh snap, watch out, I'm gonna tell you what this thing was all about. I know that you ain't right for me, but I just can't motherfucking let you be. I had to take your number out of my cell. Trying not to sext you wasn't going so well. I think you put a spell on me. That you see the jump won't set me free. Can't get you off my mind. You're so wrong, but it's so right. I'm hypnotized. You got me hypnotized. That shit is supersized. That thing was that grand prize. I'm hypnotized. Don't jump romanticized. I'm talking 9 by 5. Boy, you got me hypnotized. Boy, you got me hypnotized. Sitting on the time between your thighs. Was just one night. Your private parts were out of sight. It wasn't supposed to be a serious thing, but now you got me thinking that I'm over the rain. Like them hoes on Lost, I be having flashbacks. Like your cock on IMAX, it be looking real fat. Oh my God, it's just so pretty. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Gonna hold on real tight.
get you off my mind. But boy, you got me digmatized. It's like you put me in a trance. You got the power in your pants.
I just can't stop. I want that cock. Get it out of my head. Get it into my bed.
When I'm all alone, I think about that bone. I need it every day. You got the power.
Oh shit, goddamn, this boy is trying to me. Damn, oh shucks, this sucks. I'm like this dude a little too much. Oh snap, watch out, don't tell you this thing is all about. Hot damn, what a man. Now I hope you understand.
Boy, you got me hypnotized. All the time to keep me vibes. Right here, I fantasize. I'm hypnotized. Hypnotized. You got me. You got me. Hypnotized.
There is no cure for digmatization.